2024 elections.
I'm not here to joke with you.
I did not say we should pay churches. My comment was a joke, says Dr. Bawumia. I'm just going to quickly read that story, and then we can have our bite on it. So this one here, also citinewsroom.com, says the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, has clarified that he was joking when he stated that his administration plans to incentivize churches to undertake more developmental projects rather than imposing taxes on them. In meeting the clergy in the Northeast region as part of his nationwide tour, the Vice President explained that his statement may have been taken out of context. Let me go to the quote. Look at the number of hospitals the churches have built. Look at the number of universities the churches have built, and the faith-based organizations have built. Look at the number of people that churches and faith-based organizations take care of on a daily basis. Can you imagine? Just take a thought for a moment that you wake up tomorrow and all the schools, universities, and hospitals the churches have built disappear. They just disappear. How would Ghana be like? Ghana will collapse, isn't it? We will not survive in this sort of situation because there will be chaos. So at that point, I was joking and I said, oh, people are talking about taxing churches. I don't believe, and we will not tax churches, because if you look at the work the churches have done, then I was joking. He said, then I was joking. Maybe I should have actually, we should actually pay them for what they've done and not try to tax them. I wasn't really saying we should pay churches. No, I'm saying that we should give them incentives to do, for the churches to do more, okay? And the story goes on there. You can go and read that. Let me start with you, Julius, on this one.
You know, respectfully, the Vice President, this is not the first time he made jokes anyway. I mean, he has been making jokes the whole while. You heard the Vice President say that the dollar at $1 to 3.8 Ghana cedis is worse than the dollar at $1 to 14 Ghana cedis under his administration. Another joke. You heard the Vice President say that unemployment rate at 14% as compared to 8% when he took over is better than what he inherited. Another joke. And you heard the Vice President now telling us that we are supposed to pay churches. And you see, the Vice President is one who has... Said? That's what he said, that we must incentivize them. We should even be paying them. Those are his plain words. Those are his plain words. I'm not the one saying it. And so if the Vice President today turns around because he realized that that comment has backfired to now be saying he's a joke, he's only affirming what most Ghanaians have already believed that he does. He jokes the whole
Julius,
time.
I'm not sure if you're treating the statement he made in fairness. You would say that he said, let's allot money aside and pay churches.
I never said he said let's allot money aside.
No, but that's what you're saying.
He said that, in fact, we should be paying them. Those are his words. I'm not the one who said it. Those are his words.
Okay.
So
but
I am quoting him.
You don't see...
I am quoting him. Those are his words. And you see...
You don't see the jest in that.
This Vice President only thinks that... I don't see the jest. In any case, if I see any jest in that, then I see a jest in him saying that 14 Ghana cedis in exchange for $1 is better than 3.8 Ghana cedis. Are those jokes not the same? So he has proven to be joking the whole while. The point here is that you have a Vice President who thinks that he can recruit religious leaders into his campaign. That is what he thinks. And so he goes about, gathers them and starts telling them that they need to incentivize them. There has been a conversation that has been going on in this country. Indeed, there's no point in time there was any policy measure, neither by Parliament or a proposition of the National Democratic Congress, that churches should be taxed. I have never heard it before. There's no record whatsoever of it before. And so if he goes about, makes that proposition on his own, that there is that suggestion, and then he withdraws it himself and tells them that he's now going to give them incentives. What incentives? The closest thing to a conversation around churches that has happened in this country is a conversation of the nature and character of churches. Churches are companies limited by guarantee, essentially. And so they are supposed to not make profits. In any case, if they make any, it is supposed to go back into the venture which they do. People ask questions if churches actually do that or where their monies go to. If it was even that what he was responding to, then he would have made any sense. He was not responding to any such thing. He set his own question, answers it himself, and tells the people that he wants to give them incentive. What incentives exactly? What incentives is he saying he's going to give the churches? And then when it backfires because he did not receive the sort of applause he was expecting, he thought he could, recruit the clergy into his infantile campaign, which has proven so far to be so comical. Since he says that that one has failed, he's turning around to come and affirm what we already know he is, that he has been joking. This same vice president told us that 3.8 Ghana cedis in exchange for $1 is worse than 14 Ghana cedis in exchange for $1. And you think about it and you see he himself used the word warped logic. You see the warped logic in that. If I take 10 million Ghana cedis in 2016 or to early 2017 when the dollar was 3.8 Ghana cedis, I'll be getting around $2.7 million. If I take the same amount now, I'll be getting less than $750,000 for the same amount. For a business person, would you rather exchange your 10 million Ghana cedis for $2.7 million, or you exchange it for less than $750,000 as of today? So if somebody tells you that he goes to do averages and tell you that per his averages, it was depreciating as 13.7%, and now it's depreciating at 13.3 or something of that nature, and for that matter, the depreciation at 3.8 Ghana cedis is better than depreciating at 14 Ghana cedis. For a business person, does that make any sense to anybody? So why should I exchange my $10 million and get around $750,000 instead of getting $2.7 million, which I was getting in 2016? So you see, the vice president says a lot of things that when you think about, they are jokes. His propositions are jokes. The same vice president who sat down for e-levy to be imposed upon the people of Ghana tells them that you should vote for me before I lift it. Another joke. So the vice president has been joking. The vice president has been joking the whole while.
Final say as to whether e-levy should be imposed or not.
Whether he has final say or not.
He doesn't.
He prosecuted the campaign with President Akufo-Addo. You cannot tell me
but
today that he cannot take...
president.
So you support your president, but you don't take responsibility with him. Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You support him, but you don't take responsibility with him. You approbate and reprobate.
If he has a different opinion.
And when did he ever voice that opinion? Prior to the passage of e-levy, at the time e-levy was passed, did you ever hear Vice President Bawumia oppose it?
If you choose to be in the same boat with somebody, your opinions are secondary because you are here to support the person. Yes.
And you take responsibility with the person as well.
So
he supports, he's a part of it. But when it comes to responsibility, he doesn't. Kweku, is that what we want to put to our audience here?
No, he's now
when it comes to taking responsibility, he doesn't. So when he's running his campaign, he's supposed to take responsibility for the accreditations he gave to President Akufo-Addo. You followed President Akufo-Addo, told us that he was the man to deliver on the job. President Akufo-Addo told us that you were the man to deliver on the economy. President Akufo-Addo's State of the Nation's address is on record. You cover it at Citi TV. That Vice President Bawumia is the man he has brought to fix the economy. President Akufo-Addo on his campaign said that Vice President Bawumia, at the time he was at Bank of Ghana, was the one who helped President Kufuor to deliver a strong city. And for that matter, that is why Vice President Bawumia is here. Then you have this same person depreciate the city to 14 Ghana cedis and tell us that today he is on his own and he does not take responsibility. Kweku, how can these two things hold at the same time?
Okay, fair enough.
How can they hold at the same time? So the Vice President has proven time without number to be a joke upon a joke upon a joke. And his campaign is a comical attempt to con Ghanaians into giving him another term, a third term for President Akufo-Addo to continue plundering this country. It should not happen.
All right, George.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody who was President of the Republic. Okay,
the one you've not paid for 4 years.
A magician.
The one you've not paid for 4 years. Disgraced by nursing students.
Jobs
you've not paid for 4 years. Your candidate was disgraced by nursing students for not paying that same amount for 4 years. You promised people you would pay something. For 4 years, you have not paid it. And somebody was innocent enough to tell them that you invest that money elsewhere. Which of them should be taken seriously? Which of them should be taken seriously?
Without decorum.
Talk to your audience.
That is characteristic of you. I learned it from you minutes ago. I took the rules of the game from you minutes ago.
And you are a lawyer.
I took the rules. I took the rules of the game from you minutes ago.
Had 85 ministers of state is coming back to tell us he's going to use 60 ministers. You say we should believe him. Somebody who is not taking charge of the country and is supporting the president to deliver on his promises. You say he should take ultimate responsibility. The one who was in charge himself shouldn't take any responsibility. Airbus,
President
the
Mahama has
Bahamas
always
always
taken
said that.
responsibility.
Now let
There
me
was
come,
no
let me
point
come
in
to the
time
matter.
President Mahama
My
did not take
brother,
responsibility.
Are you
maybe he
moderating
doesn't
the show?
understand
No.
finance. Maybe
Then please tell me, let me
don't
allow
worry.
you to
When,
do
when
that.
it gets to, I think he took the dollar, CD dollar from President. I'll touch on Bawumia's issue. CD dollar from President Kufuor at 1 CD 20 pesos. And when he was leaving, it was 4 CDs 20 pesos. Okay, when they quote 380, I just don't understand them. On the 6th of January 2009, who was in charge of this country? On the 6th of January 2017, who was in charge of this country? So you need to put that. That is when you do that. And when you look at the cumulative depreciation of the city, cumulative, under them, from 1.2 to 4.2, was 250% cumulative. And the rest, from 4 CDs 20 pesos to 14 CDs 30 pesos, we are looking at 245% cumulatively. You can do what you want with this. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
George,
why we have
yeah,
rate
George,
of change.
yeah,
You see,
George,
when you are measuring,
George,
you do the measurement in
Yeah,
relation to the
yeah,
GDP
yeah,
of the country.
but
These
George,
are there.
yeah, but George.
So you can deal with nominal
Yeah,
figures.
no, no,
I ain't got
no,
no
no,
problem
no,
with
no,
that.
no,
But when we are doing
no,
assessment and statistical analysis, use rates.
Yes.
Use rates.
You can
don't
do
use
that.
nominal
Yeah,
figures.
fair enough.
Yes.
But you see,
So
but
let
you
me
see,
get
but
to
you see what you are
yes,
doing, what
yes,
you are doing
yes.
is also not being fair to the Ghanaian.
Why not?
Yeah, because you see,
Yes.
because you see, there
Facts are facts.
rate,
You don't like the
use
facts.
rate
to buy
of
anything.
change,
Yes,
statistical analysis, and all
That's
of
what
those
you
things.
do. Why do you do that
Yeah,
to GDP
no,
measurement?
No, wait.
Why do we do
George,
that?
George, Mama Nunsi, George, Mama
No,
Nunsi.
kasa. Time in Bawumia issue. I was responding.
Yeah,
to
you know,
his
that's the last.
misunderstanding
You
of
have
the
it. You have
issues.
it.
There's no misunderstanding. If
the
I
issue
exchange
here-
10 million
so the
Ghana
issue is this:
I expect to
that
get
you are
2.7 million
at the
as
end
I
of
got
the
in
day.
2016.
At the end of the day, it's about the impact on the pocket of the ordinary Ghanaian.
Definitely,
Right. So
definitely.
yes, fair enough. It went to 4 CDs from
Yes.
1 CD 20
4 CD,
pesos or
20
whatever.
pesos, yeah.
But I say at that time, but this time, no, it's like you know, no.
You voted against it because you said the economy was hard then. Two of us.
So at this
Why
stage,
Ghana?
so at this stage,
They lost
so at
by
this
1
stage,
million
what
votes.
should, at this stage, what should the Ghanaians do when we are at 14.7 or 14.9?
No, I'm not sitting here to say it's good.
Okay.
Okay? But comparatively, it's better than what he left.
How is that
Where he
better?
took it and where he left it.
please
Okay?
don't-
Relative
We
to
have
the
2 minutes
GDP.
to go.
We
Let's
are
deal
talking
with
of a
it.
GDP of
Let's
over
deal- let's
70 billion CDs.
Let's deal with Ghanaians.
Sorry, dollars worth. Economy.
Let's
That's what
deal
we are
with
talking. Look, Dr. Bawumia, I don't get people who are maybe lack of understanding of the English
Incidentally,
language.
just before you give your
Maybe.
point, incidentally,
Okay.
it's the executive director of CDD who actually is head to have made comments that churches should be taxed.
Yes.
So let me just give
Yeah,
us
so Dr.
context.
Bawumia is saying, looking at the holistic contributions of the church and the faith-based organizations to the Ghanaian economy in terms of social issues, in terms of education, in terms of health and all that, okay? The least we can do is to thank them and not to think of taxing them, okay? That's what he's saying. And so he is not going to impose any tax on any faith-based organization or the churches, okay? He would rather think, that's why he said, I think we should rather be paying you instead of thinking of taxing you. Euphemism, okay? So paying you doesn't mean directly we are going to give you money. No. What other ways can we do? Because matters of morality, you are holding the fort together, okay? The nation's morality is in the hands of the churches and the faith-based organizations and co. So we need to rather be paying them for these things they are doing for us instead of thinking of taxing them. That's what he said. And our brother somewhere decided to run to town. To say, hey, Bawumia says he's
Please
going
wrap
to
it up
pay
for me.
people. And that's what you said. They didn't see the just in it, okay? And the English contest of the euphemism and others, they don't get it, okay? So Bawumia never said he's going to, you know, pay church people and pastors and no. But he says the contributions the church and the faith-based organizations are making to Ghana is so enormous that the least we can do is to thank them and not to contemplate taxing them.
Okay,
Simplicity.
thank you.
Anybody can run to town with what he thinks. That's his own business.
All right.
Okay, and that Dr. Bawumia is the most credible politician
Okay,
in the
fair-
context that we are going into.
fair enough.
The most credible.
Okay,
And
fair-
then Sami Jemfi, your sister
Where's-
station,
where's-
multimedia, said Sami Jemfi put people in Dubai and others to say Bawumia. But that's they
Thank you,
exposed them.
thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
so
All
we'll
right,
see these elections.
We
It's
have
going
come
to be
the
serious.
end of the news review segment. I want to appreciate my guest this morning. I've been here with Julius Kwame Anthony. He's a National Communications Team member with the NDC, and George Kojo AEC, who is member of the MPP National Communications Team, as well as the Director of Communications at NADMO. We'll take a quick break. When we're back, there's more on Breakfast Daily.